I hope one day to be as confident as someone who deludes themselves into thinking marathon's any fun. Specifically, this guy right here. Have you seen those mugs that are like, I hope one day to have the confidence of a mediocre white man? I hope one day to have the confidence of someone who spends their days LARPing as the community manager for a failed extraction shooter. But that's kind of long to fit on a mug. I feel like a common theme of like recent videos has been that the people who insist on enjoying the things that nobody wants also just seem to be the most insufferable toxic people imaginable. Which brings us to @marathongg_, an account that recently went kind of viral on Twitter for this post. Now, I shouldn't have to explain why this is hilarious. Marathon haters showing the Steam charts, meanwhile the Marathon community, and then a video from Severance where there are precisely 4 people dancing in a room that's way too big for them. Are we not seeing the irony here? And the best part is you kept in the part of the clip where there's one guy not dancing, which means even though there are only 5 people in this room that's way too big for them, 20% of the people there still aren't having any fun. We're not. Wow. And look, it might sound silly for me to be picking on marathongg_. It might sound like I'm just poking fun at somebody because they like something I don't like. But rest assured, I'm making my way to the point because I think this is just exhibit fucking 5,000,007 of what I just mentioned. The people who are the most enthusiastic about games that nobody asked for, games that are way over budget, making sure they spend all the money in the world to produce something that literally nobody asked for and that is absolutely floundering because no actual gamers asked for it. The people who defend products like that also tend to be the most toxic people imaginable, and it's extra funny when that toxicity is coming from someone who I guess spends their days LARPing as Bungie, because I'm gonna show you some of the interactions that marathongg_ had with people in this thread, and if this is the state of what remains of the Marathon community, where people LARPing as community managers are just lashing out at everyone because they don't like the game. Honestly, you and modern Bungie are made for each other. You might as well work there. Thomas J. Cat says the Marathon community, and it's just one guy on a seesaw. But then Marathon GG responds, rent free. Dog, you started it. You literally brought it up. You literally started the thread completely unprompted. You don't get to pull out the rent free now. You were the one that literally started the whole thing. Also, in Before Joe, why do you sound like shit? It's cause I feel like shit, okay? Can you let me feel like shit? This one's fun. Since the eclipse says, meanwhile the Steam chart showing less than 2,000 people in game, with a 24-hour peak of less than 5,000. Do you see now why your choice of this Severance clip was so funny? A giant, massive, oversized room with 5 people in it, and again, a fifth of the people in that oversized room aren't even having fun. But since the Eclipse posts the Steam charts, and then Marathon responds, hope you get the help you need. Yeah, bro, if you acknowledge the fact that the game you LARP as the community manager for is not doing so hot, that's because you need to get help. This is the actual state of Marathon fans. Pretty Guardian says Marathon community, then that Fresh Prince clip where it's him in an empty room. Marathon GG says cope. Dog, it's not coping. How is anyone this is what I'm talking about. This is why I wanted to talk about this. Like, in the time that you've taken out of your day to be literally delusional on the timeline, as the kids say, delulu on the teely. That's what the kids say. In the time that you've taken to do this, you could have played a couple matches of Marathon. You could have quadrupled their player counts. This is why I want to talk about it. For someone who claims to be ahead of the community, it's such a big name in the Marathon community, you are actively pushing people away from the community by acting like a pissant. And that's before we get into the fact that you literally are delusional. Stanham does the cuckoo guy, and then Marathon just goes, that you? What's the point of this? Who are you bringing to the game like this? What is to be achieved by just whipping out a no you on somebody replying to you on the internet? What is to be gained? Seriously, what is to be gained? What are you accomplishing? Here we go again, says under 5K already. That's impressive. The Marathon says cope harder. Like, it's again, like, you're not making an argument. If you're trying to make the argument that, like, oh, you can enjoy the game with a small community, no one's arguing against that you can enjoy a game with that has a small community. You're also not making that defense. So, like, what is the point of any of this? When people talk smack about Marathon and bring up the low player counts, it's because the player counts started extremely high. This game had every opportunity to explode because it had a big spotlight and a lot of people tried it. And then those people didn't stay with it because the game sucks poo from a butthole. Sony and Bungie decided to put hundreds of millions of dollars into something that nobody asked for. So there's a certain level of catharsis to see it not do well, because that means the gamers won. That's why people bring up the Steam charts of Marathon and why it's kind of funny. Because the big corporations who know better, like, they know best for gamers, they're not going to give gamers what they actually want. They're going to give you what you want. You know, you don't know what you want. We do. That's why we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on it. Oops, we slipped and gave you something you didn't want. A game like Marathon not doing well is a W for gamers. That's why people bring up its failure. It's a warning sign for other companies who don't want to give you what you want. It's showing them that they have to give you what you want. Although, thanks to you, I mean, at least now they don't have to pay a community manager because you're just doing it for free for literally no reason. This one's pretty incredible. Frizz says, nothing like people taking time out of their personal hell to focus on something they don't even play. So many parents failed these kids. How embarrassing. Which at first I thought he actually was talking about. I thought he was talking about Marathon GG. Because I mean, like, with the amount of time that you're spending yelling at people on Twitter, I kind of get the feeling that you don't play Marathon either. But then I realized Frizz is talking about the people who criticize Marathon, which I think is a funny thing to say. You know, like, how can you focus on something you don't even play? Maybe the reasons I don't play it come from what I found while focusing on it. That's kind of how it works. If I'm going to choose not to play something, there have to be reasons for that, you know? So I should know what the reasons are by focusing on the thing while I'm deciding if I should play it and spend money on it. That's called making a decision as a consumer. But apparently, you know, parents failed these kids because they don't just shut up and give Bungie money. That's why you failed. You failed as a parent because your kid doesn't just throw money at things. Wonderful. But then Marathon responds. He says, it's insane what they choose to do with their time. And it's like, dude, the guy LARPing as a community manager and just crashing out at anybody who doesn't like what he likes. That's the guy now saying that you don't spend your time wisely. I really want to know what Bungie thinks about this. Oh, here's a funny one. Bethesda.net says this is accurate because there's only 5 people in the video. But then Marathon says, we got a Bethesda LARPer over here. Do you actually think you're Bungie? There's no way. Raytheon says dancing all the way to EOS. Marathon says rent free. Burnworth says that's great for the 5 Marathon fans. Marathon says delusion at its finest. Ace the Red says this is so funny when you realize there's only like 6 people in this video. Marathon says rent free. James was there, says yes, that's the Marathon community. 3 guys in it, rent free. Like, dude, they were at this for hours. Like, here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Like, this is just sad. And I guess I just wanted to document this because, like, well, A, because it's funny, but also because it's just sad that this is where we're at, you know? I farted. Did you hear it? Anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that. I thought it was funny. I just enjoy seeing games that were overfunded that nobody asked for. I like seeing them fail because that means the industry is course correcting. But I also think it's funny when people go out of their way to spend hours and hours and hours insisting something didn't fail. Because I guess your $20 of Twitter revenue is like really that important to you. And I've said it before, but the reason I go so hard on people like this is because this is what happens when we just let people enjoy things. When we just let people enjoy things, this is what grows under the rocks, you know? So don't just let people enjoy things if the thing that they want to enjoy is something that actively hurts the industry by succeeding. Maybe there's that. Also, can I show you guys a little last piece of irony before I do the Doofus Club and go take a shit? This guy insists that the Marathon community is like super great, super having fun. Game's totally not dead. If you mosey on over to his profile, he has a Twitch account. This is what his Twitch page looks like. And in the Twitch page, he links his YouTube, where he hasn't posted in like 2 months, and his most popular video has a few thousand views. Because Marathon's just cranking numbers, right? The Marathon community is huge. And we're all delusional for noticing. Okay, Doofus Club time. Maxwell VT Gaming, Muskie Joe, a bad Mariner season is a good Pirate season, failure to crash, dirty Mike the Bullies, Bill 310 Shark, even dead people, official drags, X Mach and Gamma, Blast 13 Fortnite, AI Slop, makes you Microsoft. Joe, everybody's got a water buffalo, I swear to check off, I'll cock your clock off. Unicorn Rocco, G, you should play Joe, you should play Joe, you should Joe, you should play Craft Champions. Mechanical Resonance, Halfway Nuts, Ghost Ho, Random Boy, Physical for Life, Multi, Wannabe Hobo, Jaguar 4763, Floppy Pinkus 97, Shredder 1400, Nate Henthai, Slippy, Blitz, Gaming Bird, Kev Dog 992, Pope Rock for the Rat King, Ricky's Power, Ricky Dabby, Sever Nevers, Gamer 12 Jake Spreading Mannequin 1994, hashtag play has limits. Every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes. Wow, Jerv, Joe, you should listen to Richard Cheese, it's good. Grimsy, Rose Blade, Moist Waffle, Joe, Garwire, the Hot Tub Jets, Clogged Jets. Oracle, Jeff Bandit, Sick Rider, Biogenesis, Cloaked Onyx, Blue Hook, Parchment 8, Jack Candy, listen to Michiro Yoshi. Plaid Boy, says no Avatar Steven is missing this get big. Chris Boyd. Hype Rack and Turtle Cards got the Steam controller down the best sniper west of Rex, Xbox Fanboy, Iron 6, Click, Blu-ray, Disc, Delta 169, Baron Von Hom, Dog as he smile. Joe, all you have to do is 1806 is a hard dog life, no payoff, no Archie, Sick Nick, XJ, and oh my god, XJ, Induction, Broken Crown, Sony's physically incapable, still fucking you fast, Dennis, Club of Penguins, 6, oh my god, Master Killer Tom, Unknown 718, they sacrificed Lindsay to summon Mitch Packo, I still don't know what that means. Bender Fun 2, Cheat Train, and the Nostalgia Club, and Envelope, Hypebox, Unknown, Snake Eyes 37, MK239, Firehouse with Eyes, Gaming, Slim Jim, Lord Baz, the Joe laughs, Moke, Local Daughters, and BZ Gamer, Jessica Shepard, Recruit the Salinger, all my physical games gone. Sony fuck Sony sides of the Power Zone doesn't do anything. True Dex and 940 Ziggy, Crayon Warrior 3, Max the Chad, the Chap, Totally Insane, Black Cobra, the ML04, Wolfman, EW Studio, Studios. Oh my god, Film Crack and Home Gaming, Twink, About North Game, Mackinac, Mr. Spinal Base, California, Wymark, the Power, Donnie Weston, God, Gods and Rogue, Winter 919, Zach Thang, Ham of Hire, Ellen Noble, Frost, Crystal, Scruffy, Skull, Ryasagi, Raptor 10, Honor 794, Wendy Wake, Richard No Sweet, Jody Peters, Smitty, Big Advertising, DXC, Kid Begins, I American Idiot, Unknown Stress and Rain, Ray Tuning Wing, 3 Wolf 7, Westside Dylan, Cease for Science 2026, Arch Veggie 7421, The Groove Banana, Current Balance back. Dude, that was bad. You can tell I feel like shit, can't you? Can't you? Can't you tell? Yeah, Joe, I can tell. That sucked eggs. Thanks. It's poopy time. Toodles.